still need to decorate my mask, and the mask, you can do whatever you want with it. I really love flowers and plants, so maybe I am going to fill it up. I'm gonna have some of them look like they're coming off the edge of the mask or like they're wrapping around it. You can do anything you want here, any kind of mask you want. We probably all have quite a few masks at home. And this is how we will see each other when we come back to school. Okay, so this one is done. Now it's time to open it up and start working on the inside. So when you open up this one, you're going to see that's where we draw our nose, that's where we draw our mouth, and that's where we're going to fill it with things about us. So let's open it up and get to work. Now it's time to draw the nose and the mouth. And again, these are basics. We're gonna get into more details when we do the features of a face later in another lesson, but let's get started on the nose. So what I wanna do for the nose is I have this page here, and I am going to come right about the middle of where my eyes and the bottom of the page meets, which is right about here. And I am going to make a line that's going to help guide me on where I'm going to draw my nose. And now I'm gonna make two lighter lines to guide me on how wide to make my nose. So I'm gonna go from my tear duct and I'm going to go straight down, from my tear duct and I'm gonna go straight down, okay? So this is where my nose is going to go. It almost looks like a swing. The easiest steps to drawing the nose is this. And again, like I said, this is very basic. We'll get into it later a little bit more, but I am going to draw a very light circle, which will be erased. And then on either side of that circle, what I'm going to do is parentheses again, kind of like I did up there on my eyes, okay? Looks a little funny at first, but that's okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I am going to erase the top of the circle. So it's more like a U. Okay, or like the bottom of a boat. I can erase the lines of the swing. And I'm just going to draw a curve here and a curve here. And I'm just going to follow the curve of the nose. Okay, and again, like I said, next week we are going to get into more shading on how we are going to add our details and add our color. Okay, so now it's time for the lips. The lips also have a few very simple steps. Here we go. We're going to use our finger again to measure. So I'm going to put my finger under my nose and I'm just going to make a little mark. A lot of you probably remember these steps from when you were in my class. I hope you do. I am going to go down from the pupil straight down and make another little mark here. From the pupil straight down, and I'm gonna make another little mark here. Now again, I've said this a few times, but I want you to keep in mind that this is very basic. I'm gonna show you a relaxed mouth. If you wanna show your mouth smiling, if you wanna show your mouth kind of with a little crooked, sly smile, it's really up to you. These are the basics, and then you can decide how you want to draw your mouth. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 3 circles. I'm going to draw one here right underneath that line that I made and 2 right underneath that. So it kind of looks like 3 ice cream scoops, right? And from this line or this dot to this dot, I am going to connect it going in between the circles. And I know I'm going fast, boys and girls. We're going to go over it together, so don't you worry. You can always go back to the Kenwood K-8 Center Art Class YouTube channel and you can follow along again. So I'm going to connect it to in between the circles and come back up. Okay, and now to the top circle, I'm going to do the same thing I did to the circle on my nose. I'm going to erase the top of it, okay, and I'm going to do a little curve. And I know there's a name for this on our lips. And I'm going to connect the top of that curve. So it kind of looks like a cookie with a bite taken out of it. I'm going to connect that to the end and this one to the end. We are going to erase those circles, so I do hope that you drew them lightly. And now I'm just going to go from this corner to this corner making sure to touch the two bottom circles. That's why we drew those circles. All these lines that we make and the circles that we make are there to help us guide us in our drawing. And eventually you won't need to do any of these steps. So I'm going to connect the end of my lips to the bottom two circles, and I'm going to come back up and connect it here. So I can now erase it. And it's okay if some of the lines still show up. Okay, so we've got our nose, we've got our lips. Now we need to do the shape of our face, and we're going to do the same thing we did the first time. I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to make a little mark, and I'm going to connect here to here. And remember, you don't want it to be pointy, but you do want it to get a little bit more narrow because it is our chin. So I'm going to connect it here. And I'm going to connect it here. I'm going to do my neck. Remember, the neck is from the pupil straight down. So I'm going to go from the pupil straight down, pupil straight down. Okay, I'm going to finish off my ears. Maybe I'm going to draw some earrings. Any kind of details you want to add here. Okay, like freckles, like braces, glasses. I've been wearing blue light glasses a lot lately. And now what I want to do is I want to do a different hairstyle. So instead of making my hair long and down, I am going to make it look like I have it in a braid on one side. So the easiest way to do a braid is I kind of make like a little shape of a long, thin cloud, and I'm going to go down just a little bit. And then I just connect my lines this way and almost like an X. Again, this is very basic. I can put a little bow here if I wanted to. All these little details you can add. Okay, so we're pretty much done. So if you take a look at it, there I am with my mask on, and here I am without my mask on. Now right here, what I want you to do is I would really love for you to create some beautiful writing that says something about you, maybe how you feel when you wear a mask and how you feel when you're not wearing a mask. For my elementary school students, they just had to write 6 words. But for you guys, I would really love for you to write maybe some sentences. I love writing with artwork. So think about that for a few minutes and start writing. And we're going to stop this video. I'm going to go over it again. We will do it together and it's going to come out great. And then we will talk about shading and coloring next week. So these are some of the things that I wrote, and I know it's a little light on the camera, and I will show you up close. Sometimes I feel a little embarrassed when I wear my mask, and then I realize that we are all in this together. I love that I can show my personality by the kind of masks I wear, but I still can't wait for the day when we don't have to wear masks anymore.